Welcome back to the channel. My name is Phil. I'm the Ordinary Watch Guy. I'm very ordinary, but the watches are always special. So apologies for not dropping any content last weekend. I'm studying for a master's degree and I just hit some essay deadlines and I had to push that work to the front a little bit, but I'm back now and wow, I'm really back with something worth waiting for. Craig Golby, who is one of the nicest guys in the watch space, by the way, has sent me his latest watch to try out, and I'm really excited about it. This is called the Coastal watch, and it's definitely a pivot on what I showed you from him last time, which is the Aqua Reef. And by the way, you can check that video out, like up here somewhere. You can check that video out, but after we've done this video, right? So basically, the Aqua Reef is everything that the Seiko 5 SKX really ought to be, but the prices have been sneaking up on Seiko. What is going on there? Golby have got it right on the Aqua Reef. It's such a fresh, original watch. But have they landed it again with the Coastal? Well, before we find out, I need you to know that this is not paid promotional content, and the watches that Golby have sent me to make this video will be going back to them. I'm not receiving any incentives here to make promotional content. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, first of all, what do we have here? Well, first of all, this watch is a little bit smaller and than I usually opt for personally. It's a 36mm case with a 37mm bezel, so it's got 1mm of overhang on the bezel. This being said, the last watch that I bought was pretty huge, and I find this to be pretty refreshing actually to go smaller again. And I think the wheel is going to turn back round, and I think smaller sizes in gents watches are another thing that's coming back along with this dress watch craze that's definitely on its way. You've got a single screw down crown. You can tell it's Golby straight away though. It has that oil pressed dial with the waves textured into it. That's really nice. And you've got the bezel on there, which is 3/4 loomed with contrast lettering reversed to the last quarter. So the version that I've been given to look at is the dark grey and white contrast. Being a Golby, you've got lots of colour options. So if you want it bright, you've got that orange or pink option that you could go for. Alternatively, if your tastes are a little bit more muted or conservative, they've got black on black. They've got a dark grey on white, and also somewhere in between there's this really nice fresh blue colour. I'm just going to cut in here very briefly, and I really need to ask you for a favour. A majority of my viewers are still not subscribed, and I really want to grow the channel, so please, if you enjoy honest watch content, hit the like button and give me a chance to show you more videos by subscribing. Cheers guys. We've got a Miyota 90S5 movement. That's going to give you -10 to about +30 seconds daily accuracy with 42 hours of power reserve. This is a nice movement, and you really don't see this movement that often in the microbrand sphere, where you tend to get a lot of Sellita SW200s and Seiko NH34s instead. And as I found with the Aqua Reef, this is a well put together watch. It gives you 200 meters of water resistance as well. It's 316L steel construction, smooth edges, not too thick at 11 millimeters, as my calipers told me. Quick release pins on the bracelet allow you to switch out to a strap very easily, and that completely changes the tone of this watch. The 36mm dial is very androgynous, and at 111 grams it's not too heavy. It's a unisex design, and in fact I've been really lucky because Craig Golby sent me both a prototype model and the production model, and I've been able to look at them side by side, and my sister has actually been wearing the release version. Swipe that from me, didn't she? On the white rubber strap which she's really enjoyed. You can see the subtle things that Craig Golby has opted for in the production version versus the prototype. For starters, he's just given the bezel an extra millimetre of overhang to give it that little bit more grip, which is fantastic. And I totally agree with that because the prototype bezel is really hard to get hold of. One of the things that I really liked about the Aqua Reef was the bezel, and I'm going to be honest, I think that's a little bit better as a bezel than the bezel that's on this watch, but it's subjective. That's just my personal view. This watch is less complicated. It's a simple 3-hand watch, no date complication and no GMT functionality, unlike the Aqua Reef, again, which has that interior that rotates and you can set it to time zones. I think Craig Golby has made life hard for himself a little bit by following the Aqua Reef, which is such an outstanding watch, with something more simple and understated like this. But at the same time, this is going to suit a lot of people. Another change from the prototype is a move away from polished center links. So we've got a 5-link bracelet on this bad boy, and the prototype is sporting polished center links, and the production model won't have the polished center links. Again, I agree with that choice. To me, brushed center links are a preference, and if you like, Jubilee style bracelets don't sit as well on sporty watches. And I know I'm going to catch some fire for that because a lot of people really love those Batgirls and the Jubilees on a Pepsi and all of that. So yeah, I know it's a thing, but personally, it's probably not for me. I'm also more of a 3-link bracelet kind of a guy. But this is a good bracelet, okay? It's comfortable, decent quality and feel. Don't get me wrong, this is not taking out the Christopher Ward Barter bracelet, but it's definitely good at this price point. The clasp is a butterfly design, double button pusher, and it's very solid. There's lots and lots of half links because of the 5-link specification of the bracelet. So while you don't have on the fly micro adjustment, you do have lots of adjustability, and it's very easy to size to your own needs. Additionally, and I know this might seem trivial to some, but I love the Golby packaging. They come in these small glossy boxes. When did we need to start getting our watches delivered in huge wooden coffins, by the way? The slow growth of watch packaging is very, very real. It's really nice, and it comes with this kind of individual travel case, which I really like. I really like this because it's so useful. It's so usable. It's really nice leather. It's very it's got a tactile quality to it, and you open this bad boy up just as you would. But it's so usable. So if you're the sort of person that goes traveling or whatever else, this kind of thing is so handy. So much watch packaging is just not useful, and this actually does add value to something, which is really great to see. I know that ultimately this watch is going to be somewhere between £500 and £600. But Golby are offering a pre-sale and a Kickstarter on this model for about £350, I think, which is amazing value for a watch with these specifications. It's very early days for Golby watches, so they're packing in a lot of value into their offer right now. And the microbrand sector is as competitive as hell. Everybody, wants to be the next Christopher Ward and being at the centre of a big buzz and everything. But, there's an awful lot of choice out there. This watch has got to go nose to nose with offers from Marlowe, Alkin, Shoreham, and across the pond as well. Not just British watches, but if you go to New York and you look at the likes of Laurier, I mean, that's another great shout with some classic vibes. Commercially and in the mainstream, if you're thinking about buying a Golby, you're probably looking at a Tissot, possibly a C-Star, or a Seiko, something like an SNE 597. Although that whole kind of Prospects line has really got so much more expensive of late. What do you think of this latest offer from Golby Watches? Are you excited to see what comes next? Is it ticking boxes for you? Let me know in the comments, and I promise you those comments will get seen by Craig Golby himself. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe. It means a great deal to me. I want to thank my friend Nathan over at Fully Loomed for shouting me out so thoroughly in his previous video. What a lovely guy. His content is so great, by the way, so please do give him a follow. I'll be back with another great video. In the meanwhile, check out some of my previous content over here or wherever it's going to be on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, guys. Me trying to come up with something clever for the comparison of the watch. Okay, what could I say? Am I going coastal or am I going postal? Ooh, no, that's not good. Don't say that. Am I going roastal? No, that's awful.